Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Favi, and welcome to Arrows DIY. On my channel, I love creating Dollar Tree DIYs, high-end dupes, thrift flips, and the occasional trashy treasure. Here's another episode of my Christmas series, and today I'm participating in the Duping Through the Holidays, hosted by the lovely and talented and gorgeous Brandi over at the DIY Struggle. Joining in this week for Walmart Week is Whitney of Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, Emily from Farm Charm Chic, Brandi of the DIY Struggle, and myself, Favi from Arrows DIY. We were challenged by Brandi to pick our favorite items from Walmart and just recreate them using things we have at home. So kind of like a look for less, and I love making high-end dupes. So here I go. At Walmart, I found this beautiful decor piece for $24.99, and I'm just gonna reuse this basket. This basket was my daughter's. It's from her bicycle, and she never used it. Don't feel bad, she doesn't care, so it's totally fine. And I'm just gonna give it a good paint job. So I'm gonna be using this acrylic paint by Folgart in the color Licorice, but you could totally just spray paint this if you have that option. So I paint the all around, up on the edges as well. I don't paint the back because I think I'm gonna hang this on my wall or maybe put it on top of my kitchen cabinets. I'm not sure yet. So I hope you guys like how these turned out. If you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe. My name is Favi. I am a crafty mother of 5, and I DIY whenever I get a chance. So be sure to hit that bell, because who knows when these kids will let me upload a video. And I really love making DIYs. So okay, once this basket is fully dry, I'm going to take some of this faux leather from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use my paper cutter to just cut it down to 3 inches by 1 inch, a little rectangle, because I know I'm not going to be able to cut a nice rectangle. So this is going to help me, this handy little tool here is going to help me get a rectangle looking like a rectangle very easily. So once I have this piece cut out, I'm going to take some of these stickers. These stickers are from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint them in the same black licorice paint. I try to keep the paint very thin so it dries quickly, and I also try to paint more than one letter in case I mess up, because you know, this is my channel, so you never know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just write the word Mary. Try to keep it as straight as possible. You can use a ruler if you want to. I just freehand it because that's what I do here. And then I'm going to seal the entire thing. Once it's nice and adhered, I seal it using some Mod Podge. And I just use some fabric Mod Podge I just had on hand. And that's going to prevent the stickers from coming off in the future. And oh yeah, I trimmed the edge as well, because it had kind of like a fraying. It's very low quality faux leather from Dollar Tree, so I just wanted to make it look a little more finished. And this is the part where I use the Mod Podge just to seal the whole thing. And I make sure to seal all the way to the edges so that everything has a nice clean finish. Now I take some pool noodle and I cut it to 3 inches, and I just shove it inside of the basket just to help fill in some of the empty space. You could also use floral foam and plastic bags, but I just like using pool noodle for floral arrangements because I don't really like using hot glue. So now I'm going to add one more pool noodle, so there's 6 in total inside, 3 inches in length. And now I'm going to put in this little Christmas tree from Dollar Tree. This is going to help add some variety to the greenery in my little basket and kind of help give some of the Christmas vibes. So now I'm going to use some eucalyptus. This is not from the Dollar Tree, I just had this on hand. And I'm going to poke them into the floral, not the floral foam, no. I'm going to poke them into the pool noodle right on the edge like so. That way they stay nice in place, and I could always pull them out and use them for another project next season. The eucalyptus, of course, not the Christmas tree. All right, so once I have all 4 corners of the eucalyptus in place, I'm going to open up the eucalyptus. I'm going to open them up, and I'm going to kind of intertwine them with the Christmas tree branches. So it kind of gives the illusion that they're more full, that this floral arrangement's gonna look a lot more full and more evenly spread out. Once I was happy with the arrangement, I'm gonna add one more pick, but first I wanted to add this word. So we're gonna add the label right to the bottom there, not to the top like I was showing you for the majority of this DIY. It's actually the bottom piece there, so it matches our inspiration picture from Walmart. Now I just have these greeneries from, I think I got this at a dollar store close by. So it's kind of more of a high quality in terms of the greenery. And my husband's really into poinsettias. I know, I was surprised myself. I was like, really? But it's nostalgic for him. It reminds him of his mother and his grandmother and all those things. So I like to incorporate them whenever I can in my floral arrangements. So I took 2 of those picks and I cut one of them in half, and I kind of just randomly put them around. So this was made with 1 bunch of eucalyptus and 2 floral picks, as well as a Christmas tree. So hopefully if you can find all these things, you can recreate this yourself. And that's how it turned out. Let me know what you think about this one. I like how it turned out. There's Walmart's version, and here's mine. Alright, so like I said, this is Duping Through the Holidays, and each week you have a new place to dupe, new list of creators, and every single Friday in November, Brandi is offering you a gift card. So we all came together, we're offering you 4 Amazon gift cards. All you gotta do is answer every single question in every single creator's comment box in each playlist. So just make sure that you watch all the videos, answer all the questions, and you will be entered to win. There are 4 chances to win. Today is Walmart week, and I'm joined by Whitney, Emily, Brandi. So I hope you click the playlist link below so you can see what everyone all made from Walmart. Now this is my next inspiration picture. It's a cute little sign, and I wanted to try recreating it. So I took this canvas from Walmart, Michael's. And I like buying the 7-pack when it's like half off or like 80% off, something ridiculous. And I got a 7-pack. So this one is 11 inches by 14, I believe that's what it said. And I'm gonna go ahead and take off the canvas because we're gonna make kind of like a reverse canvas deal right now. And I'm gonna use my box cutter and carefully cut out the canvas on the side of the staples where, you know, it can happen that way. Not the inside of the staples, the outside of the staples. Ask me how I know. Okay, so now we're just gonna rip off the canvas carefully and then rip off the excess canvas that's left in the back. And then we're just gonna center it to the canvas. We're gonna trace it with a pencil and cut it out. So we have a nice canvas for our sign. We do the same thing to a smaller canvas. So this one here is an 8-inch by 10-inch, and I measured just to be sure, just for you, because I don't like to measure, but I'll do it for you. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this smaller canvas. I'm not going to walk you through all the steps because it's exactly the same thing, but we're going to cut it out. So we have 1 smaller canvas and 1 larger canvas, reverse canvases. Oh goodness, I can't drink coffee anymore, so bear with me. Sorry, y'all. All right, so now we're gonna give this a beautiful stain. So to get this color, what I decided to do was add some white wax and mix some white wax with some antique wax. Now I love the rich color that these waxes give the wood. So if you don't have wax, you could totally use paint, but I don't think there's anything that compares to wax. If you've never tried it, try it. It's awesome. I'm obsessed. So I would say I put about 3 tablespoons of white wax to 1 tablespoon of antiquing wax in total. So I started adding antiquing wax little by little, but eventually I just ended up putting a whole tablespoon, and it gave me the perfect color. It was like a grayish brown color. Perfect for this modern farmhouse look, in my opinion. Now remember, on your project, you can pick any greeneries you like, you can pick any stains you like, any paint colors you like, any textures. So be sure to make it your own. I'm just here to give you some inspiration and show you what I did. All right, so now I'm going to use a cloth. This is like a leftover t-shirt, one of my kids' art t-shirts. I just ripped it up, and it's awesome for spreading waxes. So that's what I'm doing here. Now you want to be sure to get into all the nooks and crannies, but you want to make sure that you don't have any buildup in those creases. So you want to put a good amount and then just spread it all around. And you want to be careful with those little indents. You could even cover those with wood filler if they bother you. I don't mind them. I actually kind of like them. They give me kind of like a rustic feel. So I always keep the little indentations and imperfections in any of my wood pieces. But if you want more of a modern, sleek look, you might want to cover those with wood filler and then sand it down and do what I'm doing. All right, so once those are fully waxed and dry, I'm going to go ahead and use this foam core board from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to take the largest canvas and I'm going to trace it out so that I can cut out a foam core backer for our sign. This is going to help add stability to our piece. Now I'm going to be taking the largest canvas that we cut, and we're going to paint it with this black paint. Now I started painting in the center and I noticed, okay, all I'm doing is wasting paint because I'm not even going to be using the center. If I had a larger canvas, I would have preferred that, because I would have loved for the larger canvas to be larger than 11 inches by 14. So if you have a larger canvas, totally use a larger canvas, but I'm just using what I have on hand because I have 5 kids. I can't just like run out whenever. So I love using whatever I have on hand, and I just love staying within budget. Okay, so once that's nice and dry, we're gonna go ahead and hot glue it to the foam core board. So I also off camera painted the edges of the foam core board black, and now I'm just gonna hot glue any edges that did not adhere the first time. So I'm just pinning all the edges down, making sure everything is nice and tight. Now I'm going to hot glue the border of the larger canvas. So I recommend using very, very hot glue a full-size glue gun and a very, very hot glue. That way it doesn't dry. It gives you enough time to apply all the hot glue before it starts setting, just to make sure you get a really good bond with your frame. And you want to make sure it's nice and everything is flat, no wobbly canvases or any of that nonsense. So you want to make sure that you press it nice and firm, everything is nice and flat and tight and perfect in that sense. Okay, so now we're just going to hot glue the frame as like so, hold it down nice and firm, and then clean up any excess hot glue that dripped out of the side. Now Hippo was nice enough to send me this Hippo, not sure, I think it's Hippo. But anyways, they sent me this HTV vinyl. It's heat transfer vinyl. I've never used it before. I'm so excited. Honestly, I was kind of scared because you guys know, well, if you're new around here, you don't know, but if you're a subscriber, you know that I've bought a Cricut a year ago and I've been so scared to use it. It's kind of a thing, but my husband is looking at me sideways and I have to just try. So they also sent me this really cute mini heat press. So I'm gonna try this out right now for the wording in our sign, and it turned out awesome. So I mean, I would only recommend a product that I like, and I really enjoy this heat transfer vinyl. Okay, so I put it in my Cricut. I spared you all the details on the Cricut. If you would want me to show you how I do this with my Cricut, I could show you. I mean, just leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to put more details for the Cricut side of it. But anyways, I cut it out, and I was kind of nervous because people are saying that when you're using a Cricut and you have smaller font, that it's trickier. So I found it helpful to cut strips when I was weeding the vinyl. I found it helpful to cut strips into my into my vinyl. Now, heat transfer vinyl comes with a plastic film, and that's the part you want to attach to your Cricut mat. And you also want to be sure to mirror your image, which is like the most important thing if you're using heat transfer vinyl. You must mirror your image. Must. Absolutely must. Okay, so once I got everything weeded, when your Cricut cuts into the plastic, it leaves the outline of the letter. So if you do lose a letter in the weeding process, you could totally just put it back. Now, when I cut the strips to remove the vinyl, I made sure not to cut through the entire plastic film. That way it all stays in place and I won't have to center every single phrase individually. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to cut strips to help you weed your letters. Just be sure not to cut the strips all the way to the end so that your piece stays together in one piece. I hope this makes sense. All right, so I put the frame in place, that way I could center it to where I want it. I turned on this little heat press. It literally turns on by just holding the button for 2 seconds. And then you just click it again to change your heat option. So my specific vinyl said it needed to be on a medium setting, and I needed not that much pressure. What do they call it? Medium pressure? Let me see here. What does it say? Yeah, medium pressure, and the temperature has to be medium. It says 285. So I just kept it medium, and you got to leave it on there for 12 seconds. So I did that kind of. And it's very important to peel this when it's cold. And then now I let it cool off after I transferred the entire thing. I let it cool off and then I peeled it. And I was so happy with the result. Okay, so now I'm going to fold it in half. That way I know where the center of my picture is. And I'm just gonna use a pencil and just sketch in very roughly. I'm talking like cave woman rough, like very like stick figure trees. I'm not gonna go too in detail here with the pencil. I just want to have an idea of where I need to put the paint. So this is very simple. If I can do this, you could totally do this. And I'm looking at the picture on my phone of my inspiration picture on Walmart. So whenever you're drawing, you want to be sure to keep looking, to look more at the painting that you're copying than the actual picture you're drawing. But as you can see, I'm just very simple. I am not so fussy because I actually like my individuality. So I do like my take on the picture. I'm not going to obsess over little details. But as you can see here, I'm just showing you, I'm using a very small paintbrush, and I'm just trying to just follow the shape. If it's more of a curve, I chose to do it in parts as opposed to one stroke, because I didn't feel too confident doing one stroke with the paintbrush. But I mean, depending on your level. I also really enjoyed dabbing the paintbrush. So if you haven't seen our host Brandi this entire series, she made an amazing art piece with trees, and she was talking about how she uses the technique of dabbing the paintbrush to add the branches to the trees. And I think that's a very, very helpful way to make the trees, because once I started dabbing my paintbrush on the tree branches, it turned out awesome. Like, I really liked the texture and the variety and how random the strokes were looking. So that's just my little tip, my little 2 cents. I hope it helps you out. As you can see here, I hot glued the frame around the picture, and then I hot glued the little canvas into the larger canvas, trying to center it to the best of my ability. And that's how it turned out. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this one. Here's Walmart's version, and here's mine. Not too shabby, not too shabby, if you ask me. All right, so let me know in the comments below what you think about this one. So my question for you today is, what is your favorite store to dupe? which out of the high-end stores is your favorite store that you look for decor inspiration, or maybe the store that you would love to shop at but you just could not afford. Let me know in the comments below because I'd be so interested. Now for this next project, I'm going to be making this piece, this decor piece wall sign, and it says peace. So I took one of these globe wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. It comes in the 3-pack, and I took the wire that has the 2 little spokes at the end, and that's the one I'm going to keep because those spokes are going to help us adhere that word on more securely. So now I'm going to take a ribbon and I'm just going to tie a hanger at the top. Nothing fancy, just grosgrain ribbon, and I'm just going to do it like so. You could also use twine, use whatever you want. It's just important to put on the hanger now because it's easier to put it on now, and every time I make a wreath or some sort of hanger, I forget the hanger, and then I'm like, ugh, struggling to get it through the greenery. Anyways, so now I'm going to use my box cutter and I'm going to cut out this wood sign. I want to cut out the word peace out of the rest of it, and this is from the Dollar Tree as well. So I'm going to use the box cutter. I'm going to use the X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut this out of the word, and I'm just going to score that spot a couple times, about 12 times on each side, and it's very simple to break through. You cannot use scissors, it will crack the wood. I've tried. So once it's all separated, I'm going to sand off the edge to make it nice and round, and no one will ever know that it was part of a bigger sign. Now I'm going to paint the front in black, and now once that's fully dry, I'm going to adhere it to this wire. So I want to adhere it like so. Our inspiration picture has this peace sign more towards the bottom of the wire ring, which I thought was a very important element since we're going to be adding greenery to the top. So to have that, we have to make sure that the wire pieces go right to the top of the letter P on the back and right in the middle of the letter E. So I mark it off with the pencil so I don't lose a spot. And now I'm going to flip it over and add some E6000 as well as some hot glue just to keep it nice and secure. I mean, I know hot glue doesn't really like metal, which is why I opted to add the E6000 just in case, because there's nothing worse than your wall decor falling off the wall. Not that I would know, it's a nightmare of mine, and I really don't want anything falling off the wall. So after I have the E6000 secured there, I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue, and then I'm going to take a little piece of the canvas from the last DIY, and I'm just going to secure it nicely like so to make sure that everything stays nice and snug in place, help everything glue together, as well as protect my wall from this wire scratching it. So once everything is nice and secure, I paint the back black as well, because I kind of want to put it in front of a mirror, and I don't want it scratching my mirror, and I also want it to look nice in the reflection of the mirror, if you know what I mean. Or even a door, it would look nice on a glass front door. Okay, so now I'm gonna secure the hanger. I'm gonna center it now that we have the word on there secure. Now we can adhere the hanger in place. Now I'm going to use this greenery. Okay, this is the part where I kind of did my own thing just to match my home decor. My husband loves poinsettias, like I said before, and my daughter loves glitter, so that's why I did this. And at the moment, I didn't even notice that the left side of the sign is flocked and the right side of the greenery is not flocked. But you know what? It'll be okay. It'll be all right. I could always switch it out, and I might. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the poinsettias. I'm still on the fence about them, but it's okay. It's just home decor, and if it really bothers me, I could always switch it out. It's just jute twine, you know? So I took some jute twine and I attached it to the wire form. Holy, I couldn't remember the name of that. Okay, I attached it to that, and now I'm just wrapping it as close to the base of the greenery as possible. It's really that simple. If I could, I would use zip ties. I can't find them right now. I think I'm actually out of, oh, nope, they're right there. I couldn't see them. Okay, so I just used jute twine. Use whatever you like, but if you do use cable ties or zip ties, just make sure that you cut them facing forward so they don't scratch your wall or your mirror. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just using the jute twine and I'm going to knot it and secure the twine with hot glue. On this channel, we do not trust twine. We always cut our twine. We always glue our twine. Always. Jute twine is wild, does not listen. And then once I have it all secure all the way up to the top, middle there where the hanger is, then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so I'm going all the way around, trying to move the branches and the florals out of the way, just trying to attach the center stem of the greenery to the wire as tight as possible. And you only have to go around 8 times about, because it's only one greenery sprig. The one at Walmart looks a lot more full and it's a lot larger. So if you have a larger ring, then you definitely would probably want to add zip ties or floral wire to attach yours. So once I get to the center here, I'm just going to make an X formation with the jute twine and just kind of try to build the jute twine in the center top there. That way we can adhere the ornaments in just a second. So adding the jute twine kind of gives a base for your ornaments to stick to, which is why you see me building so much jute twine right here at this particular moment. All right, so now I'm just gonna hot glue everything, secure everything nice and tight, nice and adhered, and then we're gonna put on the ornaments. Now the ornaments are gold. I painted them gold using Mayan gold off camera. Use any color you like that fits your decor. That's the beauty of DIY. Use whatever greenery you want. Use whatever ornaments, whatever colors, whatever tickles your fancy. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to hot glue them like so, and I have to hold them forever. Okay, now I'm going to use these decorative bells, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue them together and hope they stick. They should stick because it's Gorilla Hot Glue. In my glue gun, I use Gorilla Hot Glue and it's good for most surfaces. But if you're using like cheap hot glue, then you might want to use E6000 or super glue or all-purpose glue or Star Bond or whatever you want. And then I'm just going to hot glue them like so in between the ornaments. And I think it's so pretty. Here's Walmart's version. And here's mine, interpreted for my family. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget the answer to my question in the comment section below. Say hello if you're new here. I would love to meet you. These are all the projects today that I shared with you. I hope you enjoy. A special thank you to Emily from Farm Charm Chic, Whitney of Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and the lovely Brandi for inviting me to take part of this really fun collaboration. Stay tuned. Remember, there's 4 weeks, so if you haven't seen any of the stuff last week, you want to be sure to check out the last 2 weeks, and there's one more week coming up next week, so be sure you keep all that all right, thank you so much for watching. You know I appreciate every single one of you. Take care, God bless, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. If you like this video, here's another one you might enjoy.